emotion. Well, thanks for coming, first of all. I don't know if you are following Zone H or if you are following the major hacker conferences around the world. Since the beginning of this year, we started to produce comic books like this. And online on Zone H, you can find our comics. What is the comic related to this topic? Actually, it is related to much. Usually, when we have a sort of presentation or a seminar somewhere of a certain importance, we also produce a comic which is something which goes together with the presentation, and to fully understand the presentation and what we want to transmit to you, it's better that you read also the comic. The comic are a little bit technical, but not too much, so everybody, even the business manager, can understand. And particularly for this conference, we produced a comic based on espionage activities. Okay, it's a little bit science fiction comics, but if you can easily substitute the science fiction elements with elements that are already present nowadays. And you can get one copy, actually 4 copies of this comic with the autograph of the producers, which is me and him. No, but for this number, actually, we were having a lot of help from 2 persons, which are actually very much important. This is the cover of our next comic, and for you guys attending this presentation, there will be a CD with the PDF file. You can get it for free. Wow. And you have basically 2 reasons to read such comic. The reason it is that in this particular episode, we have Fyodor, which is Nmap author, and HITB founder, lead dog. They helped in the storyboard, so they were actively participating in producing the comic, and basically they are the 2 heroes of the story. So this is a good reason why to read the comics. But you also have another good reason, that you can see my ass in the comics. And the ladies, they love it, usually. Okay. Actually, it's only in the first episode. Later on, people, they told me, come on, you can't do such stuff. So this episode, it is more serious without naked flesh. Excuse me? In the next episode, there will be a social engineer of French origin, absolutely naked, will be spanked by the heroine which we have. Evil Angelica, the name of the lady. Okay. Now, I passed the microphone, actually, virtually, to Fabio, which will continue with the presentation.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is watch a little bit of a movie which is called Black Hawk Down. I don't know how many of you people saw it already. There is a very good reason, which is a visual definition of asymmetry. So now you see it, and then we get to the talk.
Sir, the vehicle has stopped.
So this is the real deal now. He's sure this time.
He sounds scared shitless.
Good, that's all it is.
All units, Irene. I say again, Irene.
Check on ready. 151, fight up to me. Star, 41 on the right.
Irene!
Huh?
This was a DVX file or what?
I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So, I don't know if you caught the message of this little piece of the movie. So
Never fly a helicopter.
Whatever. Besides, never fly an helicopter without a patent. But the thing is, you saw that there is the biggest army in the world, billions of dollars spent in intelligence, big espionage activities, satellites, Delta Force with very expensive training, everything. And then you have on the other side probably the cost of the little kid's his own life and a couple of dollars a day to eat. And this little kid with this couple of dollars a day to eat and a satellite phone, okay, there is the phone bill, maybe if they pay it. But this little kid just totally destroyed the hopes of victory of this army in this specific example. So this is what asymmetry is in this field. I'm talking about, of course, what we're talking about now, which is intelligence, fighting, cyber war, whatever. Asymmetry is just this, having a big, complicated, expensive, costing a lot of money on the taxpayers and everything. On one side, and on the other side, you have, whatever you can do. Like, definition of asymmetry is also, you use whatever you have in hand. You can use a fork to eat or to kill somebody. To kill somebody is an asymmetric way to use it, okay? It's just unconventional way to use it. So, I'm going to say now some things that they are like, they can look like obvious to everybody, but they must be said just to understand what is the background of the activities, the intelligence activities of today and how things are evolving in this field, either for the purpose of law enforcement or, to fight for the good against the evil, or just to get more money and for profit, only for mere money and profit. So we're going to talk about all the new threats, industrial espionage and state-sponsored espionage, which in many cases is the same thing, okay? Because a lot of countries, they finance intelligence agencies also to work for the industry, just to back up their own economy. Italy is not one of those, unfortunately. So. And then we have cyber defense methodology. Okay, we're going to say just a little bit about this because we don't have enough time, and counterattacks, etc. So, this is one of the obvious things. I mean, it looks like obvious. Everybody says that, after September 11, everybody talks about, oh, there is September 11, everything changed, and all this type of things. So, the fact is, I'm in the business of intelligence I've been since 1985, and I can tell you that in actual fact everything changed. Because before, when there was the Iron Curtain, and I was there for 5 years when there was the Iron Curtain, there was the big evil, which was the Soviet Union, and there was enough. But the most of the money went into government activities. Then after the Iron Curtain, there was a little attention on security. I mean, security wasn't a big deal. Nobody was spending too much money for it. Also because you can never demonstrate to top management or to anybody how much money you're going to save with security measures. You're going to just know it when you have a security breach. So when you lose some money, you say, shit, I lost some money. But if you don't lose them, there is no way to tell that you're going to lose that much money. So you cannot demonstrate how useful it is, or that you need to work on security for any reason. So you also have Microsoft is a good example of that, as I was talking with some Microsoft guy today also. I mean, now they're putting a big attention on security because there is a lot of hacker activity and a lot of security breaches on the operating system and on the application level. But when it was born, can anybody say that it was security oriented as an operating system? Of course not, otherwise we wouldn't have all these problems right now. So, now, a big thing that nobody ever talks really about industrial espionage. I mean, it is something you read in books maybe, but there is no real concern about it. It's like an invisible phantom, you know, going. That you talk about just amongst top managers or you know, between security managers of corporations or with the Justice Department or things like that. But there is no public talk about it. And the reason why is because the industry can lose its image for it. So that's a big deal for the industry. Sometimes they don't even, industry doesn't even report to the police or report to anybody that they had a security breach, unless somebody discloses it, which is, you know, somebody external discloses it, because it can be bad for business. So it's better to support a big security breach and risk your customers, you know, well-being or financial well-being. And it's better that than report and make people know or alert them that there is a problem. So you have credit card companies. I worked for many years for a big credit card corporation, and I remember perfectly having tons of security breaches and problems, you know, every day. But none of these, they were all treated very confidentially. You know, like, you know, this is something strategic. You cannot talk about it. You cannot talk about fraud. Fraud is a strategic matter. It's a competitive matter. And then you have the T-Mobile thing, which Roberto is going to talk about later. And then there is this thing which I called K. I cannot actually mention this company, but I can describe it to you. K stands for the first letter of a huge American corporation dealing with security. This huge American corporation dealing with security and with due diligences, and they also have some people in Iraq. Actually, some of their people, they do the guarding of the stations in Iraq for American soldiers. I mean, they are private people, you know, with all these guns and everything. And this big corporation, which was involved in a big industrial espionage matter last year and the year before, was, you know, totally breaking into, and all their database was taken by some people, which nobody knows who they are. And this big database of about 350 gigabytes zipped. It was used against them, but did you ever hear, I mean, did you see in the newspaper something about it? I mean, this corporation is still in business, is still working, customers are still trusting this corporation, just because nobody knows that this thing happened, except the actors that are involved in it, and few other people like me, for example.
And you now?
Yeah, but you don't know the name. Well, you can look it up. The second letter is R. So, this is the thing. I mean, this presentation, the beginning was made by another person, so can anybody say what this picture is standing for here? I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm asking you. Somebody put it there. Anyway, just jokes apart. Don't look at the picture. So, what is industrial espionage? Industrial espionage is, here is said, is the